Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. Tonight we got UFC Fight Night, Winnipeg Burns versus Malott, full card predictions and picks, and breakdown of course, and what a splendid card we have. Going from UFC 327, especially going in person, to now having to sit on my couch and watch this, it's like coming back to school after an amazing field trip, or Sunday night, just the whole feeling of Sunday night, coming back home after an amazing vacation or an amazing sleepover when you were a kid. That's what this feels like. There's this week to week. I mean, we're going to get, like next week it's the Apex. And then the week after that, we have Perth, which is an amazing card. That shit's going to be scrap after scrap after scrap after scrap. And then UFC 328, which is going to be absolutely amazing. Those 2 weeks back to back are going to be peak weeks. But now we have to thug it out a little bit with Winnipeg. And the Apex next week isn't the strongest Apex card. It's not like the March 14th one, which was Vallejos Emmett, where we had a lot of good bangers. We had Freaky Rahiki, we had Asplin, we had Petrino, something like that. This card could be decent, but, you know, I'm going to watch it anyways because I have nothing else to do on Saturday nights. I've kind of like my family, my friends, it's kind of known that Saturday nights are for UFC. So we do stuff Friday night or Saturday during the day or Sunday. So there's nothing planned for Saturday night this week. So I'm forced to watch this, But I mean, I enjoy watching fights. Even if they're not the greatest cards, I still enjoy this. Like, they could do better, but it's Canada. Feel bad for them. The last Canada card wasn't the last Canada cards last year weren't too bad. That one RDR Brennan Allen, that wasn't terrible. The 315 with Bilal JDM, you got Bilal JDM on there. The rest of the card was okay. I don't remember too much of it, but whatever. Let's get straight into it. I remember 297 though. That Strickland DDP one. Oh, I want to throw up, bro. First up, we got John Yanis versus Jamie Siraj. Siraj, more of a grappler in this sense, and Yanis is more of a boxer, a damaging boxer. Yanis in his debut had Austin Bashi, who we did get sub pretty easily, but Bashi is a much better grappler than Siraj. So like Bashi would be him. And I don't know. This is a toss-up in my opinion. We could go Yanis here. Yanis, Laurel, or whatever. But I'm going to go Jamie Siraj. I think the grappling edge will be a factor, of course. And I think it will be the difference in this fight. And I think he gets it done. I think he'll be able to, you know, survive. Oh, Microsoft Word noties. Shut up, dude. Can you stop? All right, let's get into this. This is bantamweight. I have it listed at featherweight. I have it listed at featherweight. Yeah. So Jamie Siraj, not great striking. It's like striker versus grappler, more so. Yanis, he's aggressive. He's got good boxing. I could see him getting a later TKO, or a decision. But Siraj, I'd probably go with him by sub, like round 1 or 2. I think we'll be able to get his take. He has nice entries on takedowns, good ground and pound and sub game. So I'm going to go with him here. It's an iffy one, though, of course. With a lot of these prelims are iffy. Next up, we have John Castaneda versus Mark Vologden. This is going at catchweight. I think it was Castaneda's side because he is moving down. I'm pretty sure it's his first time at bantamweight. He is moving down. If I'm not mistaken, I did hear that he had a pretty hard weight because he was like the last one on the scales by a while. By a decent amount. So maybe that plays a factor here because Mark Vologden, he's a fucking gritty guy. But, like, in my opinion, having a war like that on the Contender Series isn't the greatest. Like, it's a Contender Series. He did lose that too. I think the guy he's fighting, or the guy he fought, is debuting against Davey Grant next week or something like that. A tough debut. This is a tough debut too. Castaneda, he has very good experience. He's fought a lot of good fighters. He has good striking, good jab. Like, his takedown defense is pretty solid. Good kicks. He fights behind that well. And Mark Vologden, he is very small. I think he's got 5'3" bantamweight. That's not the greatest. His reach, 65 inches. Like, he's a small guy, but he's gritty. He's a boxer. He's going to get inside. He's got some good wrestling as well, but as we saw, his defense is pretty bad. So I'm going to go Castaneda here. I think he gets one by decision, especially early on. I think will really piece him up. He has slowed down before, especially with the weight cut. It might be even worse. So maybe I take that into account, but I'm not going off that too much. I don't like to go on outside factors a little too much. That's like Ortega type of fucking weight cut where you're in a hospital and fainting, and somehow they keep the fight on. That's like if they kept that Cameron Smotherman fight. Like, Cameron Smotherman basically died at the weigh-ins, and they want to make him fight as a zombie. That's kind of what it was with the Ortega one. I was so surprised to hear Ortega was still fighting after fainting and going to the hospital and all that shit. So, whatever. But, I mean, it wasn't that bad. Maybe a tough weight cut, but I still think he's going to be a longer, rangier guy, especially against Mark Vologden. Small, stocky, good wrestling and grappling, or good wrestling and boxing, but I think he's going to get pieced up for most of the fight. At least the first 2 rounds. Because, of course, he's a crazy pace that he put on. But I think I'm going to go Castaneda by decision. Next up, we got J.J. Aldrich versus Jamie Lynn Holt, mate. I don't know, where's she from? Yeah, she's Canadian, right? Whatever, there's some Brits in Canada, right? Am I right? So, J.J. Aldrich, she's a wrestler. She doesn't have great striking. Jamie Lynn Holt does have some good clinch work, good takedown defense. She has good striking and boxing decently. I think she gets this one done. More damaging striker, being able to keep it on the feet. And if J.J. Aldrich does initiate some wrestling, go to the clinch, and she's better there. She's also improving pretty decently. So I'm gonna go with her by finish, like TKO round 2 or 3, or decision, because it's women's MMA, so always count on a decision for the most part. Except for Tatiana Suarez last week. Then we have back to back. Holy fuck. Melissa Croden versus Daria Zelezniakova. Shout out to translator, or fuck, whatever. Melissa Croden, she had decent striking, with her hands, her kicks, her grappling smash. She has been out grappled before. She has nice clinch work with the knees and the elbows. Daria Zelezniakova, she's decent all around. It's like a fight could go either way, but I'm gonna go Croden. I think she'll be a bit more damaging this fight. She is a bit older. I think she's like 35 to Daria Zelezniakova. Daria Lipfiller is 30, I think. But I think Melissa Croden, more damaging striker. I'm going to just go with her. So, not much to this one either. I don't really care. Then Tanner Boser versus Gokhan Sarakam. Tanner Boser, I think, was at light heavyweight. Fought a little bit outside of the UFC. Came back and then is now a heavyweight. But I think it's finished or a decision. Because Gokhan Sarakam, he's pretty light. He's quick. He has good takedowns and ground and pound. And he kind of wails on them on the ground and pound. He's good there. Tanner Boser's kind of, he's a fucking heavyweight blob. This could be a boring blob fest decision, or I think Gokhan Sarakam could get like a early TKO via the wrestling and ground and pound, or something big on the feet. But heavyweight farts, I'm going to go with, I think Gokhan Sarakam's a better fighter here. So, I'm going to go with him by decision or like a round 1 or 2 knockout. I could see both. I could see him just getting the wrestling going easy, and ground and pound at heavyweight can be very damaging. Of course, it's heavyweight, so he could get it done by I would lean toward a knockout earlier on, but I could see it stalling out. Maybe Tanner Boser defends well, whatever. Then Julian LeBlanc versus Robert Valentin. This is the shittiest fight on the card probably. LeBlanc on the regional scene does not look good. He has no striking or KO potential. He's more of a wrestler. He mostly gets takedowns against a cage. His wrestling singles, doubles isn't great. Robert Valentin, on the other hand, he has been grappled before, but he has on the regional scene decent subs and KO power. He's a bit more dangerous guy in this matchup. He does not. He's low IQ. Does not do anything particularly well. But I think in a matchup with LeBlanc's shit stink. Robert Valentin was out grappled by Loader. Was out wrestled and held up against the cage by fucking Torres Finney. But those guys are better than LeBlanc. And then obviously he lost to Atiba Gautier, but it's Atiba Gautier, bro. He's fucking Thanos for these unranked shitters. But I think all those guys would beat LeBlanc. I'm gonna go with Robert Valentin here, decision or maybe a finish. Of course, that's how all fights end, but I think either could be a stinky decision for him, or could be a finish where he chins LeBlanc or something, or subs him. But I'll probably go decision. Kind of a shit fight. Damn, the prelims. I'm not even excited about any of these fights in the prelims. Oh, Dennis Bazooka's in the prelims. Well, this is a heartbreaker for me. Dennis Bazooka. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I probably mentioned it on TikTok. But I met him in Miami last year at an Aljo pop-up for the Funk Harbor Rum. 2 days in a row. I think it was Thursday, Friday. Cool ass dude. Chopped it up with. He was not I'm in the UFC. Nah, he just chopped it up with us, me and my friends, talked about fighting and training with Aljo and Marab, so he does have some great coaches. He hasn't fought since August 2024, I'm pretty sure. But this is a very bad matchup for him. Cool dude. I've been waiting for him to get a fight, but he gets this shit. A guy coming off Contender Series who is dangerous. I think he comes from LFA. He's fucking nasty, Marcio Barbosa. A lot of finishing potential, good boxing, and the thing is, he has good good BJJ as well, which is that where Dennis probably wants to get this fight to the ground, wrestle, because his striking defense he's gonna be at a offensively and defensively, he's gonna be lacking and at a disadvantage in this fight. Striking defense isn't great. Got chained by Jamal Annamers. I think his other two losses were decision. He beat one by decision, but this fight's gonna be rough because he gets it to the ground. Barbosa has good BJJ on the feet. He's like good front kicks and kicks the body work in general with his hands as well. He mixes it up pretty well there with body, head, and that's very good against a guy who wants to get to the ground. Kind of keeps the range and hurts them, slows them down a little bit. But he works his boxing very well. He's nasty in the boxing, a lot of KO potential, and I think he gets this one done by round 1 knockout, maybe round 2, but I'll go round 1. Sadly, I have to pick against Bazooka. It's going to be a heartbreaker watching this. I've been rooting for him to come back. It's been like literally a year. Like, damn, where's Dennis? I follow him. Dennis. I got on Instagram. I'm like, he's asking for a fight. I'm like, yo, let's get this guy a fight. I have a group chat with my 3 friends who I was at the fights with, talking to him. We're all rooting for Dennis. And now he gets a fucking killer in his debut. Bro, it's going to be rough. It's going to be a rough one. Rough. Now, Thiago Moises versus Gage Young. This is an interesting one. Another 50-50 fight on the card. Thiago Moises, he's taken a lot of damage in his career, but fought the best of the best. Islam's, Joel Alvarez, fucking BSD, like the best of the best. He has good grappling and wrestling, of course. He's very good there. He works well with his kicks, which probably be a weapon in this. Low kicks, just kicks in general. Gage Young is more of a boxer. He has some very close losses. I think 2 split decisions they were, or just close decisions. They get out-grappled by Killen Sakiot on the Contender Series. I think took like 9 takedowns on him. He has good hands. He's more of a boxer with some good body work, not much KO power. And he has had a hard time with like people who kick well, which is what Thiago Moises does possess here, along with the grappling and wrestling advantage probably. Gage Young does have decent grappling. It's a 50-50 fight, but I'm going to go Thiago Moises by decision. I think he'll be able to craft his way to a decision. It'll be a close fight, though. I wouldn't be surprised if Gage Young like sparks him. Maybe could switch by tomorrow. This is one of the fights where it's like I could think about it a little more. But as of right now, I'll go Thiago Moises by decision. But this is a 50-50 fight. Probably one of the more closer ones we've looked at so far. Close fight. So next up, we have Jasmine Jasudavicius versus Karine Silva. Karine Silva just lost to Macy Barber. Jasudavicius got knocked out in October, I think, in a round by Manon Fiorot. I thought she was going to win that fight, but, guess not. In this fight, though, I think she is the better wrestler. She has some decent striking. She has good top control. She has nice size for division and good ground and pound, which is where I think she'll have a lot of success, like wrestling, control, and ground and pound. Because Karine Silva, she has good jiu-jitsu, but she ends up on her back a lot, like looking for subs. And she does have a lot of subs. I think she's like 9 KOs, 8 subs, so a lot of finishes on her record. I just looked before this. But I think that's gonna cost her in this match. But I think Jasudavicius is a better fighter. So I think she wins this by, it's gonna be even on the pretty close on the feet, I think, but on the ground, I think Jasudavicius is gonna have the wrestling advantage, be able to control on top and get her ground and pound going and win this by maybe a TKO, but I'm gonna go decision here as well. Then we have Maldonado versus Jai Herbert. Maldonado is a guy with a lot of experience. He's 36-year-old prospect. I love these guys, the fucking old ass prospects. He is 36. He has some nice experience in Bellator. He was there for a little while. He has nice range management, which is where Jai Herbert wants to work with the kicks and stuff. He's a kickboxer, almost knocked out Ilya. Maldonado, he's also good in close range with his boxing. He's good timing there. He has some decent wrestling, grappling, clinch work, good physicality, good pace. And Jai Herbert, he doesn't have bad losses, but he's taking a decent amount of damage. He's been sparked a lot in his losses, so I could see him getting knocked out here. But Mendonado, I think, will be able to just outbox him, out physicality him, get in his face, come in his face, like a lot of these guys do, and maybe get a TKO. I'd say probably later on, like round 2 or 3, or decision. So I think he's gonna win this one. Rat Garbage, I love that nickname, but now they're calling him Mango. I think on wherever. I think there was a tweet saying that he didn't know he was switched to Mango, but whatever. I think he gets this one done. Jai Herbert could get it done by decision, but I think Mendonado has a lot of good experience. He's at TriStar Gym, which is like the GSP gym. I think he was helping him get ready for some fights a while ago because he's 36, so he's old. He has a lot of experience in this game in Bellator. He hasn't taken a lot of damage either in his career, so I think I'll give him an edge here as well. I got him later knockout or decision, in my opinion. Then we have Kyler Phillips in the co-main versus Charles Jourdain. Kyler Phillips is the woman on testosterone. I don't know who said that, but I loved it. I stuck with it ever since. And Charles Jourdain is moving down from featherweight. Good move for him. Just knocked out or sub Davey Grant off a flying knee, which is where he'll have success here. I think he's a more dynamic striker. Works well off his kicks. He's been out grappled, but also has some decent grappling himself. Good subs. And I think he has a good physicality. He's a big fucking dude for this weight class. He's strong as well. Kyler Phillips also has some nice size. I think he cuts a lot of weight, which probably does contribute to him slowing down in his fights. He's gonna want to get inside, wrestle. I need a shit. Does like to get inside and wrestle, but I think Charles Jourdain will, with his kicks, is to be able to like halt that. He has some good combos as well. But it's a close fight because I could see Kyler Phillips winning some exchanges, especially when it does get in close. Like Charles Jourdain has been outboxed and kind of chinned in those areas before, but I think Kyler Phillips, he's gonna have a hard time getting past the kicks. If he wants to wrestle, I think Charles Jourdain will be able to defend well, gets to the ground, he'll be able to scramble well, maybe threaten some subs, some front headlock type of chokes. I think he'll be just outcraft Kyler Phillips, and especially later on, be a bit better. Kyler Phillips has slowed down. His performance against Vinicius wasn't good. He likes to move a lot. So if Charles Jourdain chops the low kicks, gets the body kicks, body work, I think he's gonna slow him down. Maybe he'll find a late TKO or so, but I'm gonna go decision for Charles Jourdain here. I think he gets this one done. And main event, Gilbert Burns versus Michael Malott. That's probably the easiest matchup Gilbert Burns has got in the past 6 or 8 fights. Because his last 6 losses I was looking, it was like Hamza, Usman, JDM, Bilal, Brady, Buckley. Not in that order, but I think it would be Usman, Hamza, Bilal, JDM, Buckley, or JDM, Brady. And then Morales, or were those? When did that Brady one happen? I was forgettable. I didn't even watch a fight when it happened. I missed it, but whatever. He hasn't looked great, honestly. The last couple fights, like Brady was piecing him up a little bit, just ragdolled him kind of. Morales, Gilbert Burns was able to get a takedown, but he got right back up because he's the big physical like stature. He was able to burst back up, which I think Mike Malott will be able to do if he gets taken down. Gilbert Burns, he hasn't been taking damage well. He hasn't been as imposing with the striking. He can't really get into a dog fight anymore because of all the damage he's taken. He can't do a Hamzat fight again. He's not going to be able to do that. He kind of shelled up pretty quickly against Morales. He did say he had a concussion, which he said lingered till like International Fight Week, which was 6 weeks out of that. So it was weird. I think Malott's pretty decent. Obviously, he slowed down, lost versus Neil Magny, but I don't think that'll happen here. I think by the time I don't think it'll reach like the 15-minute mark or close to there. I think this is going to be a knockout within the first 2 rounds. Like I said, Burns hasn't been taking a lot of damage. Well, Malott, he has decent BJJ and takedown defense, so if it does, I think he'll be able to get back up, like I said, defend takedowns maybe. He has some good KO power. Like, he's a big guy. He's pretty strong. He's explosive. And, like, Burns is just getting hit a lot and not taking it well. I would love to pick Burns. I would love for Burns to get a win. He's on a 4-fight losing streak, but I think it's kind of past him at this point to be fighting. Maybe he retires this weekend. But, prime for prime, of course. Take Burns. I think he'd win that. Probably finish Malott. But it would be a dogfight early on, but I think he'd finish him. But at this point in his career, it's like, it's not wise to keep fighting. Yeah, you get a paycheck, but you're taking a lot of damage. Like, he's being up against a lot of dangerous guys. Like, Mike Malott's dangerous. He's KO power, like I said. I just don't see him being able to survive the big shots from Mike Malott, who I think will punish his entries when he does come in. He has like some nice hooks. I think he's like a nice switch hook, which he hit Radke with. Oh man, I have a turtle head. But so I'm gonna go shit right after this. So yeah, I think Malott round 1 or 2 knockout. It's gonna be a rough day. Burns could somehow pull it off, but I'm not banking on it. I'm going to go with Malott. I think it's a more logical pick here. So those are my picks. You got Malott. I didn't do the prelims, but Malott round 1 or 2 knockout, Jourdain decision, Mendonado later knockout or decision, Jasudavicic decision or knockout, Thiago Moises decision, Marcio Barbosa round 1 knockout, Robert Valentin decision, Gokhan Sarkam knockout earlier on TKO. Melissa Croton decision, Jamie Lynn Hort TKO or decision, John Castaneda decision, and Jamie Siraj by submission. Those are my picks. I'll see you. I might not even do a fucking recap for this card unless it's good and I actually pay attention. I'm not doing one. I'm sorry. I could care less. I want to do the predictions and breakdown because I feel like that's more important, but there's not really anything in my opinion that's very intriguing about this card. That's like, oh, we got to talk about this prospect, this big fight, because there's not really any big fights. I don't think Mike Malott's not high on Mike Malott. So, yeah. So I probably won't be getting a recap for this. I'll do damn, I might not even do a next fights to make. That's fucked up, but I'll see you in the next one. So I don't even know when the next video will be. So, fuck. See ya.